What's up, guys? It's your boys Wokey back with another Chris Watts video, and by popular demand by almost hundreds of you have asked me to watch the Nancy Grace video that was done not too long ago. Murder dad Chris Watts blames wife SHANNAN for not being like his latest affair. But we're gonna watch this. She posted this about 4 days ago. Not everybody is a fan of Nancy Grace. There's a lot of people not a fan of Zwokey. Get over it. So, we're going to be watching this together. I've wanted to watch it by myself, but I wanted to watch it with you guys, and so forth. So with that being said, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting that white bar icon down the bottom right. Hit that bell icon next to it. When I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that I've posted that video, and then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And don't forget to go over to Nancy Grace. Go give her some love. I mean, the woman is definitely bold. She definitely tells it like it is. So just go give her some love. Watch her old stuff. Watch the new stuff. You know the deal. And with that being said, let's get into the video.
That there was some things he would take to his grave.
He's murdered.
That's the big thing. What is so bad that he is willing to take information to his grave?
His pregnant wife, the unborn baby, his two daughters, Bella and Celeste. But there's something so bad he won't tell you. And I don't know what could be more horrible than what we already know he did. I think it's something worse than that. Something he did.
Worse. I'm like puzzled. I'm like, what's worse than murder? Like, I don't know.
To SHANNAN or the girls or to their bodies.
Gosh.
Breaking news tonight. We go behind bars and freakily into the mind of murder dad Chris Watts.
I don't want to be there.
Including why he justifies murdering his wife and two little girls. Actually,
I still can't believe he's trying to justify it.
Blaming his pregnant wife SHANNAN for not being more like his latest mistress. Really? It's her fault she's dead? Then how do you rope Bella and Celeste into that?
That's like blaming the Jews, saying it's all your fault of why Auschwitz was made. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. Like, are you kidding me?
Long story short, tonight, behind bars and into the mind of Chris Watts, a place I thought I would never go.
I'm not gonna lie, she's got like seven lights on her face. You can see them in her eye.
I'm Nancy
Look at that.
Grace. This is Crime
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lights.
Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
Because I'm concerned about a friend of mine. I dropped her off at her house at 2 in the morning last night because we were out of town together and we were on the way back from the airport issues, and she's pregnant, and I haven't been able to get a hold of her this morning.
Did you tell your mother-in-law that she went to a friend's today? Yeah.
Look at his face.
Who's what friend?
I went to a friend's house, but that's all I know.
Who was she supposed to go to?
Like, his dumbfounded face.
That's all she told me.
I wear my sunglasses at night and indoors. Okay. Did you see him going back and forth and back and forth? I'm just a trial lawyer, but I know that that's
a trial lawyer?
Off, and with good reason. Take a listen to this.
My daddy is a hero. He helps me grow up strong. He helped me snuggle.
This should be going off in his room, prison cell, non-stop.
True. He reads me books. He ties my shoes. If you're a hero, blue and blue, my daddy is love you.
SHANNAN Ruchek never expected to fall in love with a man who sent her a random friend request, but 2 years later, she married Chris Watts. Just after their first anniversary, the couple welcomes baby Bella, and she becomes a big sister to Celeste at 2 years old. Despite financial struggles, the family is incredibly happy to learn they are expecting a little boy and break the news to Shannan's parents on a summer vacation.
Baby Nico was never born, unless you count
No,
coffin birth.
I don't.
After Shannan Watts was murdered and placed in a shallow grave, her body expelled baby boy Nico. This raised the first red flag of alarm.
Calling because I'm concerned about a friend of mine. I dropped her off at her house at 2 in the morning last night because we were out of town together and we were on the way back from the airport, and she was having issues and she's pregnant, and I haven't been able to get a hold of her this morning, and I've gone to her house and her car's there and stuff like that, but she won't answer the door, she won't answer phone calls.
And that's when Chris was like freaking out, going, "Get off my door and don't call the police and get off my front door and stop pushing this button and stop." Like, he was going off on Nichol Atkinson for trying to look inside to see if Shannan was okay. And then there's people that are going, "Oh, Nicholas Atkinson, the son, oh, he was involved. He was hiding the phone." Like, what are you on?
She won't answer text messages, and I'm just really, really concerned. And she had a doctor's appointment this morning, and she didn't go to it, and I don't know what to do. I've called him and talked to him, and he said that she went on a play
She did the right thing.
date with her other two daughters, but, like, if she went on a play date, they're both in car seats. Why would she not take her car?
Shannan's friend rightfully disturbed. You know, that's called routine evidence, not stereotypical or normal evidence, evidence of a routine. Why would Shannan take her children on play dates with their car seats still in the back of her car? Shannan would...
And then he goes, "Oh, maybe she walked there," and her flip-flops are right there. Like, and the kids' shoes were in the closet. No clothes were taken. And, like, his plan was just fumbling. And he thought, "Oh, this is going to work." Or Nichol told him, this is the way to get her out of here, and then we can be together. And then when it started unraveling, they're like, "Oh, crap, it's not working as good as we thought it would."
Never have done that. What more do we know? Listen.
Pregnant Shannan Watts sets off again for a work trip with close friend Nichol Atkinson. Shannan confided her marriage has been strained, but she's hopeful to reconcile when
because of him, not because of her. She didn't decide to separate.
She returns. The pair's flight is delayed, and Atkinson drops Shannan off at home just before 2 a.m. Monday. Shannan has a 9 a.m. doctor's appointment, but the expectant mom misses it. Watts says Shannan told him she was taking the girls to a play date when he left for work at 5:15, but he has no idea where Shannan or their children are.
Well, what about that missed doctor's appointment? Shannan pregnant with baby Nico at the time, so rightfully, and SOP, standard operating procedure, they speak.
Just think, okay, if the appointment never was actually on Monday, okay, and Nichol Kessinger or Nichol Atkinson didn't have to go to the house that morning, how different events would have changed. Would have been a week before Chris was caught? Was it a month? Was it a year? Would he ever be caught? I mean, we could sit here and say that all day long, that we want to know the what ifs. But that's a big what if it wasn't for Nichol Atkinson coming forward and saying, "Hey, she missed her appointment. I haven't been able to get a hold of her." What if that friend didn't care as much? Or Nate coming forward and say, "Hey, I got cameras." What if we never had the cameras? If it wasn't for those two big things, Nate's camera and Nichol Atkinson coming forward and trying to find out where Shannan is, I think this would have went a whole different way. It would have taken longer, if not, would it even happen to begin with, that Chris would have been caught. I mean, there's guys on here that I've seen, and the first 48, this guy murdered his 3 wives. The 3rd wife, he got caught. The other 2, they went missing. Like, I was thinking that the other day when I was watching it. I'm like, this could have been the Watts case in a whole different scenario if Nichol Atkinson didn't come forward or Nate didn't come forward and say, hey, this, and this. Hey, I got a camera. It could have went those ways where he could have had a second wife, Nichol Kessinger. What if he murdered her too? I mean, I think they were going to be rebounds Nichol Kessinger was just a rebound. They weren't going to spend their lives together. No, he was just excited that he was getting attention from another female, and this female was dumb enough to be like, oh, he's married, but I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to sleep with this man, and then I'm going to get mad because I don't want to be the second woman. I want to be the main woman, but then he murders his family, and then, oh, by the way, I don't want to be caught in this. I'm going to throw him under the bus, and then I'm going to come out of this scot-free. That's what Nichol Kessinger was thinking. I could be wrong. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. But let's continue.
To Chris Watts, the husband.
Any friends she would be hanging out with?
I mean,
I guess her parents are.
Amanda Thayer is one of them. Nicole Atkinson. There's a couple other ones that live in the vicinity. There's probably more, but he didn't know which friend. Like, he thought this was going to be foil-proof.
Out of state?
Across country, North Carolina.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's not happening. She can play. All the girls' blankies are gone.
Yeah, because he threw them in the garbage, bonehead.
Their blankets they sleep with, they don't leave anywhere without them.
Good. Nothing else appears to be missing, though? Just stuff you take for a quick trip? She tell you anything about leaving, moving out?
Not moving out. I mean, the last time I talked to her was this morning. She said she's going to take the kids to a friend's house, and that's where she was going to be.
And he thought of that, and he's like, this is going to work. Nicole, I got this idea. Let's tell the police that she went on a play date all day, but she didn't tell me where, and then we're good. Huh?
And then I've texted her today and never heard anything, but the car's here. Car's here. Unless somebody can pick her up. But the people that I know, nobody's heard from her, nobody's seen her.
Am I just projecting, or can you tell he's lying right there? You know, I picked up a lot. If we could put that on mute and see the video again, you see Chris Watts leading the police along. They're trying to find his wife, his pregnant wife, SHANNAN. Check out the closet. That I noticed immediately. Everything is in perfect order. She wanted to give him the perfect home. She had designed it. She had painted it. Look how organized. She even has.
Right? I like this Nancy Grace when she sits there and says that. Some women, some mothers don't do this. They sit on their phones all day. They don't do much around. I'm not saying all, okay? And this is vice versa. There are guys that are on their phone all day. They're playing video games. They're not contributing to society. But you have SHANNAN Watts here contributing to society. She has a job. She's selling a product. My gosh, if it's not FDA approved and people freak out about it. There's things that are sold all the time that are not FDA approved. There's lotions. There's God knows what's out there, but they wanted to blame SHANNAN for the stuff that she was selling that made Chris do what he did, right? So, but she's making this house a home. Yeah, okay, she might be making it more towards her liking, but he is the primary breadwinner. He's the one that brings in the money. He's the one that should be doing the outside duties, the lawn maintenance, being the man of the house. I know times have changed and some people have to do 50-50 where it's the husband pays half of this or pays this half we can't do a lot anymore where the man goes to work and the women stay home. It's a very big rarity to see that. And vice versa. There are men that stay home while the woman goes out and she's got a boss job. She's a lawyer. She's a whatever. And the man stays home. Again, I'm not sexualizing this. So I don't want people to be like, oh, he's sexist. I'm not sexist, okay? I'm just trying to put this into an example. But SHANNAN she cooked, she cleaned, she had that house immaculately clean. I mean, Chris did help, okay? He did help as well. But he's complaining because he doesn't get to put things on the wall. He doesn't get to have an input. Shannan's busy. Like, it's not all about him. The world does not revolve around Chris Watts. And he wanted that to be his life.
Her husband's clothes, color coordinated. See the sports shirts on?
I'm sorry, but having Shannan do all that stuff that we have seen is like a grace that a lot of guys would love to have. But because they had financial ability, it's Shannan's fault. It's both of their faults. They both spent money. Get over it.
On the end, then you've got
Look at all those clothes that this man has. Look at all the jerseys. Jerseys don't come cheap.
dark, then you've got blue, then you've got plaid, orange, white. It goes on all the way around.
My closet, which it's about like, I think like 4 feet wide. Okay. I have all my stuff in color order. I was military. I just do it. I don't have my missus doing all my stuff because she's not my slave. Sometimes she'll do it just to be nice, but I don't require her to do it. Shannan wasn't required to do this. She did it because she liked being OCD, or she was OCD. I can't say that she liked it, but she liked to make sure things were clean. Things were organized. I mean, look at the basement, for crying out loud. All these tubs and Tupperware that she had. I mean, the food, the rice, the grains, the refrigerator. It was all organized. And this man's like, I can't put something on the wall, so I murdered my family. What?
She had in her mind the perfect home, the perfect marriage, the perfect family. Where does he fit in? Another thing, another thing that jumped out at me as he's walking through the home, he points out the baby's blankets are missing. He knows exactly where those blankets are.
In the garbage.
They were with the children, Bella and Celeste, when he murdered them. And he has a straight face. This guy can lie like a rug. So when we are judging someone's demeanor, you can really be fooled. This is Chris Watts, aka Killer Dad. But you've got to see this, the inevitable.
I'm usually a good sense of character when it comes to somebody. When I'm talking to them, I can be like, okay, this person's fake. I'm usually pretty good about it. Chris Watts, I knew right away. Nichol Kessinger, I'm sorry, but you're fake. In my opinion and my thoughts, she's fake. She wants to have all this fun stuff. Okay, yeah, she did. She went and got her degree. She went to and worked on the oil fields. But you knowing about Chris being married to his wife, and you still didn't care. You wanted what you wanted, as in booty, butt stuff, free food, free dinners and stuff like that. That's on her. She knew it. She didn't care. She should be held accountable for her actions.
Begging for their return.
Shannan, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like,
this was not an accident.
if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here. Please bring her back.
That's from our friends at Denver 7. That was his emotional plea for his wife to come home, for the unknown perpetrator to bring her back, that the house was not complete. That was your doing, Watts. Your doing in such a horrific manner. Even the neighbor noticed his behavior was very odd, uncharacteristically odd. Watch.
Mind if you just want to go talk to him? I'm going to get his info real quick. No.
They called it on day one.
Rocking back and forth, and if you look, he never takes his stuff in and out of the garage ever.
Right.
And it doesn't look like he came from out here. It looks like he came from down the street. To be completely honest with you, my wife and I were kind of wondering when she was on vacation if something happened, because I've heard them full out screaming at each other at the top of their lungs, and he gets crazy.
Does he? And that's pretty recently.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's why she went and visited people, because she wanted to get away from the situation.
He did say later on that he over-exaggerated a little bit, but he still said that they yelled at each other. Chris can blow up. I'd love to see how that looks.
I love the neighbor. I want him to be my neighbor.
Right?
So from his door cam,
my neighbors, I can barely get to say boo to me. Just head nods. I wish I had neighbors like this.
he could see what was happening at Shannan's home. She shared with Watts. And he could see Watts loading things in and out of the car. He could see Shannan's car parked there. Now, he referred to her going out of town. She had gone out of town prior to her murder. She was with her family in North Carolina with the two little girls.
Something happened
she did not leave the two little girls with Daddy, took them with her. The neighbor noticed.
I wish the Ruseks would have gotten the kids. Like, you know, Shannan, when Miss Sandy Rusek, sat there and told Shannan, like, I want you to stay with me. And or stay with us, the parents, and then Stan was like, I can't, he's got good insurance. It shouldn't be a reason why somebody stays. I know Shannan was trying to defend or take care of her family, and that was being with Chris with the insurance and stuff like that. But what if, like, the girls went with Sandra and Frankie Sr., and then Shannan went back, and it's just all the what ifs.
Uncharacteristically odd behavior on the part of Chris Watts. But then there's more.
We waited the time we were told. The mom called again. He said he was still on it and to wait another 45 minutes. So he's just been giving us false times and everything. And we know he's been lying because his stories aren't adding up.
Right.
Telling everybody different stories. Because we have one story. She's with a friend right now. And then there's another story. She's on a play date with her kids with another friend. And then she left in the middle of the night. So he told us 3 different stories. So
now that's the son.
Oh, that's the son, and he's already calling BS too. He's like, we getting different stories. Chris is not making any sense. We are literally, he told us this, and this, and they're probably like, bag, we know he did it.
Of Shannan's best friend, Nicole Atkinson, speaking. Now, I've always believed and observed that if your story gets embellished, like you add facts to it, that's totally understandable. Maybe you were not asked the right questions. Maybe you remembered something in addition, like, hey, now I remember X. But when your story changes, that is a problem. All right? You're hearing Nicole.
If your story changes and you're the one that's talking and you're the one that's trying to give random information to the police for no reason, like, I think it's overkill.
Atkinson's son described how Chris Watts' story was changing. That's a big red flag. And then, of course, it culminates here.
We have been able to recover a body that we're quite certain is Shannan Watts' body. We have strong reason to believe that we know where the bodies of the children are, and recovery efforts are in process on that.
That's from our friends at ABC 11.
Which Nicole was Shannan was removed at like midnight at night. The children were not moved till during the day. So that when Shannan was removed, the girls were still in there, because they were trying to find the exact way to safely remove them without anything going, because it was highly explosive, highly flammable.
Body recovered, and recovered in a horrible way. Pregnant Shannan was found buried in a shallow grave. I told you earlier that she then...
18 inches, I do believe.
Baby Nico was born by coffin birth. Her body expelled her only son. She had Bella and Celeste, her 2 little girls. Not far from that shallow grave, Bella and Celeste, these 2 babies, were found, their bodies forced into oil drums, long cylindrical drums.
Batteries.
And their bodies decomposed in...
Oh, the batteries that was in the Metallic song that Nicole said, hey, Chris, you should listen to this. Plus, Metallica was his favorite band.
That liquid, not far from where Mommy was buried. Now, of course, Watts was then questioned. Listen to what he had to say and watch his demeanor.
You have to trust me that when I tell you that these 2 beautiful girls right here, I did nothing to them, and to my beautiful wife, I did nothing to her. Like, you have to trust me and believe me. Like, I know you don't know me as a person. You've known me for like 2.5, 3 hours, and I don't know what your opinion is. But you have to realize that these 2 beautiful girls right here and my wife, I had nothing to do with the disappearance. Like, they vanished. They were taken. Someone has taken them. They're safe somewhere. We don't know.
He was hoping that they were going to be like, oh, they were abducted by aliens. Oh, we believe you, Chris. 100%. Oh, are you going on a date with your mistress? Okay, no, have fun. Like, that's what he's thinking.
Nothing to do with this act of like evil cruelty, whatever has happened here. Because my love for these two girls and my wife, like, I don't want anything to happen to them. I've never wanted anything to happen to them. Like, I need them. I want them just to run through that front door and just grab me, or just barrel, just tackle me, knock me to the floor, bust my head up. I don't care.
Said that same thing to reporters.
The amount of love I have for my family is exponential, and it's never gonna die. And I want them back.
Ever going to die?
Okay. I have to have it back.
So I murdered my family, but I still love them.
Listen.
I don't think anything like that could happen. I don't think I'd ever do it, but I did.
I know. Keep going.
She accused me of it. I denied it. I cheated on her, and I feel horrible for it. Like, she was pregnant, and it was. I don't want to. I didn't hurt her. I cheated on her. I hurt her emotionally. I cheated on her.
Listen.
She hurt him. Yeah.
And again, the birth of the SHANNAN haters. Because of that, what he just.
I
like to see what his version of freak out is.
Did they leave after that? So she started her games.
Yeah, never heard.
Oh, my stars. Not only does he murder her, he then blames her that she is the bad person. There's a tiny bit more. Listen.
And then what happened? I looked at her and I got on top of her, and you went on top of SHANNAN, did the same thing. Okay. Did you have to knock her down? No. She was already on the ground? I just pulled her off on the bed. And, kind of one move. Yeah. Okay. So it's not as though you pulled her off? No. Like, I went up, pulled her down. Okay. I didn't know. I lost it. Sure. Okay.
So SHANNAN was laying on the ground?
On the bed.
On the bed?
Yeah, like when she was on top of the I saw what was happening. I pulled her, went down on the bed.
How big was the bed? What kind of size is it? Full, clean? You know?
I think it's probably a queen of some sort. Okay. Kind of pick for it somewhere.
And then finally.
And the babies are gone.
You know what's sickening? I didn't realize this, but if you go down to the comments of this video, there is where did that go? Right here. This person said his dad scrolling on his phone while his son is confessing to the murder speaks volumes. His son bearing his soul and killing his wife and children while he's checking his email. I'm not saying this. This is all the other people are like, the Wokey. Oh my gosh, the Wokey. You know how many 4,000 comments on this video. And they're all saying the same thing. But yeah, while he's confessing, dad's over there. Oh, I gotta do this. Like, be present. Get off the phone. Be present.
I put my hands around my wife's neck and did that same thing.
Did that same thing.
Did SHANNAN fight back at all when you did that?
The rage that I had after seeing that, like, not much.
But she fought back, but not much.
How do you know SHANNAN was dead?
Joining me right now is a very special guest that I've wanted to speak to again for a very long time, Cherlyn Cadle, the author of The Murders of Christopher Watts and The Many Faces of Christopher Watts, a 5-year update. Cherlyn, thank you for being with us. What led you to speak to Chris Watts?
Well, just as you saw him on the front porch that morning, it seemed more like he was trying to not laugh. And I told my husband there's a lot here to uncover, and I'm going to write this man, and I want to write a book about him. I felt very led to do so. I just felt like it was meant to be. And so I did write him, and he responded and accepted my...
There's people that have actually gone after Miss Cadle because they're like, oh, she's just money hungry. She wrote to Chris, and he wrote back. She could have wrote him, and he never wrote back. End of story. Would have gone on in her life and done more books on something else. But they will literally go after Miss Cadle and say, oh, she's just about the money, she's just about this, and she's making up things, and my gosh, and like, where do you guys come up with your information? Besides me.
Proposal to write a book?
Wow. I've never been interested in hearing what he had to say, but I'm curious. The way I would be curious, like looking at
I'm very curious why I'm watching this.
a spider under a glass case. I'm curious in that way, like when you go to the snake house at the zoo. So I'm very curious what Chris Watts had to say. Tell me everything. Start at the beginning.
Well, the very beginning was he wanted to clear his wife's name. So he was willing to speak with me. He invited me to come to the prison. Actually, his mother was very much pushing for it, and I think it was because they thought they could control the narrative of a grandmother that they thought was someone that they could control, that he could control. So I went to the prison, and I sat with him the first day for 5 hours. Woo! As he poured out everything that had happened, but telling things that he couldn't tell me face to face, but he would write them to me in a letter. He said that there were guards listening and that type of thing, and I don't know what he was trying to protect at that point.
Trying to be... What happened? You need... Or I'm going to tell you, but you need to not tell any... Like, what secret is there, dude?
But anyway...
okay, now that's curious. He didn't want to talk because guards were listening. What would that have to do with him telling the truth, just because a guard was listening?
Right, exactly. But this is a man who wants people to think that he is the good boy next door. That's the way he came off to everyone. And he's a monster, absolutely a monster in sheep's clothing. When I went to the prison to meet with him, he just acted like the nicest guy and would hang his head, not look me straight in the eye. I could tell he was very ashamed. And at one point I said, Christopher, look at me. Stop looking down. Look at me. When you talk to me, I want you to look at me. Well, he was lying so much, I realized later, because he was blaming what he did on other things. So from there, he started writing me letters, mini letters, 12-page letters. And
what else does he have to do? Besides write. Oh, crap.
The things he was trying to hide is the morning that he killed SHANNAN, the girls were still alive. As he was rolling SHANNAN off of the bed and wrapping her in a sheet, Bella walked in the bedroom and said, "What's wrong with mommy? What happened?" And
that's where I think.
He told her that mommy was sick and they were going to take her to the hospital. But he was mortified that child woke up, as he put it. Not far behind her was Cece. Cece was stumbling. My opinion, she may have had a little bit of brain damage from where he had smothered them and thought that he had completed the job. It takes more than a couple of minutes to do that, and I think he stopped too soon.
Wow.
One of the most horrible things that can be imagined is he put those 2 baby girls in the back seat of his truck.
On top of their mother. 45 minutes to it's out at that location.
Bella asking why they weren't in a car seat or a seat belt, and him telling them it was okay. It'd be okay this time. He laid SHANNAN across the bottom of the floorboard of that truck under the girls' feet. And the girls kept saying, "Something stinks, Daddy, something smells. What's wrong? What's wrong with mommy?" He took them to the oil field where he had them wait.
Defecated.
while he rolled Shannan out onto the ground. He pulled her over away from the truck and he buried her where those baby girls could watch, if you can even imagine. As he rolled Shannan over, he noticed that Nico had been born, and he was like amazed at what had just happened. He went back to the truck. He smothered Cece, he said first, and then he smothered Bella. Well, first, when he smothered Cece, he said he took her up to the oil battery and put her in, but he put her in an 8-inch hole. Now, if you think of ordering an individual pizza, it's about 8 inches around. And he put her in this 8-inch hole and he had to stomp her in. He couldn't just drop her in. He had to stomp her in. And he heard the splash as her body hit the oil. Then he went back to the truck and Cece said, "Daddy, you're not going to do the same thing to me that you did to Bella, are you?" But he took that child and he put a blanket over her head and he smothered her, and she fought him. She may have only been 4, but that child fought him with everything she had. And it has still made me wonder to this day if if Bella may have been alive when he dropped her in that oil battery.
No.
Because she had tearing in her mouth, she had bruises. It kept me awake at night, Nancy. It is the most horrible thing of thinking of what he could have possibly done to his own flesh and blood.
And you think we're going to let him out? For those people that are, Team Chris, let him out. He's a reformed man. If he's able to do this to his family, what do you think he's going to do to some normal Joe Schmo?
And the reasons why he did it are even more horrible.
Or booty.
And he pulled away, listening to a song by Metallica. And
Okay, wait a minute. Cherlyn, you mean drove away in his car listening
Yes.
to Metallica?
Yes.
The battery.
What is his demeanor as he's telling you this? Or was this in the...
Some was in the letters and some was in person. In person, he could not tell me that they woke back up. But he said in the letters that...
Because he continuously lies and he can't keep things straight.
He didn't know what else to do with their bodies at that point. He was afraid they were going to wake back up again. He thought, according to him, that it was a spiritual thing, that they woke back up and he had to kill them the second time. He did not...
How was that spiritual?
Look at it as he just fumbled the murder the first time. So he was afraid they would wake back up.
I don't understand that. How did he think them reviving was a, quote, spiritual thing? Demonic? I mean, what is he talking about?
Yeah, he thought it was demonic. He thought that there was some sort of a darkness over him that made him kill Shannan and the girls, something that he had been dealing with for a couple of weeks, when in fact, those couple of weeks were his planning stage. He would daydream about how he was going to kill them. He knew the night that he put those girls to bed, he says in a letter to me, "I knew that was the last night I would be tucking my babies."
Why would you tuck them in if you know you're going to murder? That makes sense. You took care of them. You gave them showers. You gave them food. I mean, it was cold pizza. But fed them, you clothed them. Why would you do that if you know you're going to? That still makes absolutely no sense to me.
And he knew they would never wake up again and carry on another day. And so he waited for Shannan to waylay her. He surprised her with the way that he treated her. He had sex with her before he murdered her.
That part I don't believe. There was no evidence of them having intercourse or intimacy from the autopsy. Man did not have. He probably did with Numbnuts McGee.
When he's talking to you and divulging these details, what is his demeanor?
He didn't want to look at me. He was acting, and I want to emphasize acting, that he was remorseful. telling me about how he's having nightmares in prison, how Cece is visiting him in prison, and he thought that she knocked off some papers off of a table right next to him, and he jumped because he was afraid the table was gonna fall on top of her and hurt her. Really?
That table is like bolted to that wall, or it's part of the wall.
So his demeanor was as a concerned dad, as I can't believe I did what I did. But it was so fake, just like the porch.
Like the porch.
Hi, guys. Nancy Grace here. Please join us on Crime Stories and stream it first on Fox 1 when Breaking Crooks 1.
He was of sane mind at the time he murdered them. In fact, isn't it true, Cherlyn Cadle, that he murdered SHANNAN and Bella and Celeste and baby Nico because he wanted to be with another woman? And the entire time SHANNAN was visiting her family in North Carolina, he used that opportunity to hit on a coworker.
He was going to try to claim insanity.
Exactly. And they had a 6-week affair up to the date that SHANNAN came home. And he didn't want to let go of her. He didn't want to go back to his real life and give up his girlfriend. But now, after murdering his family and being found guilty of everything, or he admitted to it, he then turned to blame his girlfriend, that she was dark and somehow she transferred this evil, dark spirit onto him, which made him kill his family. Just another way of blaming. And one thing I wanted to say, because
what's next? Is he going to blame the mailman? Oh, the mailman was here. He caused the murder. Like, I'm surprised he hasn't blamed Dieter.
We see him so fidgety and everything on the videos at the neighbor's house.
Well, I'm fidgety. I'm just, I got fidget toys all over the place.
Talking to the police. He told me he never gave one thought that he would ever be caught. He thought he was so smart that he could literally pull this off and never be caught. And he could go off and have his life with his girlfriend and everything would just be wonderful. Yeah, that's a monster. That's a real monster.
When he would talk to you, Cherlyn, what was your impression of him? Because I find that really not only interesting, like I said, studying a rattlesnake, but I find it probative. In other words,
she spent 5 hours. A long, dedicated time.
Proved something to me, that he was so arrogant that he believed he would never be caught, that he could manipulate everyone.
I mean, he even said it in his interview in the February time frame. He's like, he lied to his teacher so well about going to China that he was like, I got this in the bag. I can lie about anything. Shut up, Chris. You're not no black, what do they call that card game where you have like a poker face? Yeah, poker face. Where you have a stern kind of like face and people can't tell your emotions if you're sweating or if you're excited or what have you. Chris, he literally had it all over his face.
The girlfriend, the many girlfriends he had, his wife, his children, his own family, the justice system, his co-workers. I mean, he'd been hooking up with women for, one-night stands forever.
Right. I mean, Christopher is good looking, or he was at one time. He was good looking.
No. You know who's good looking? My Funko Pops are good.
I believe that this crime has eaten him. He's not as good looking as he used to be, but he's a good looking man, and he comes across very sweet. He was very gallant in the way he even treated me. He was very kind. He wanted me to just feel that he was the good boy next door. And he took on a role with me almost as that I was a mother figure to him. And he would tell me that because, I mean, I went into it at 60 years old.
So he likes role play?
I had no intentions of any kind of a romance, and I made that up front in my letter. That's not what my letter was about. And I find it interesting that he has a lot of issues from growing up.
Yeah, it sounds that way.
he may think is okay, but I would be very concerned if my son had those kind of issues. And I think that it was
what kind of issues?
Well, he would go into the bathroom at
I love this woman, Nancy Grace. She literally asked what I wanted to ask.
home, and his mother told me this. He would go into the bathroom at home, and she would hear him crying and saying, "Oh God, please forgive me, please forgive me, please forgive me for what I did, please forgive me." She said that she would ask him about that, and he wouldn't answer her, and so she decided to leave him alone because she felt like he had his right to moments of privacy. Well, that is far beyond privacy. That was sick. Something had happened. Something a 12-year-old boy
I don't
can do
know
in the
so
house.
much that something happened or that he did something. Sounds to me that he did something that he was anxious to be forgiven.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And so he would do things like that. And he was very much a kind of a loner. He did have a friend that he grew up with that lived close by to them or next door or something. But I think there was a lot of dark things in his childhood that he did. And I don't think it was killing the cat down the street. I think there was some things that he did.
I don't even know if we know because he hasn't said anything.
He told me once.
Does anybody know if they were missing pets?
In the jail that there was some things he would take to his grave that he would never talk about. One of those things.
Oh,
was
my stars.
during-
Whoa, hold on. My head just blew off. Let me attach it. He's murdered his pregnant wife, the unborn baby, his two daughters, Bella and Celeste. But there's something so bad he won't tell you.
Yes, and that was one of those things happened during the surrounding the murders. I would question him about different things. I think the thing that he wouldn't talk about that he was going to take to his grave, I think it had to do with the fact that he gave SHANNAN a heavy dose of oxycodone when he had met up with her at her family's house in South Carolina. He spent the first night at the house there with the family, and he so wanted to get rid of the unborn baby that he gave SHANNAN, he made her a shake, and he
I don't think that's what it
put oxycodone in that shake, thinking that it would cause her to miscarry. The poor girl drank it, unaware of what he was doing to her, and it made her very violently ill. She threw up all night. He couldn't even console her. He allowed her to literally sleep in the bathroom with her head on the toilet, vomiting and sick. Her brother had to come in and help console her. She was so sick, but she did not lose her baby. I believe that one of the things that he will take to his grave with him is who gave him that oxycodone. He wouldn't tell me.
Hold on just a moment. Hold on. So disagree. And I admit that you're the expert because you've had all these conversations with him. But he would sell anybody down the river. He's now blaming SHANNAN. She was the problem.
See, they're debating. They're being positive. They're not screaming at each other. They said, like Nancy said, hold up, I disagree. And then they're talking about, like, why can't we on social media?
She was a control freak. He's blaming the girlfriend. It's all her fault. She was a, quote, dark spirit, like cult mom Lori Vallow said. He blames everybody else for everything. I think it's something much worse than who gave him the OxyContin that he slipped in her drink to kill the baby and maybe her.
Right.
I don't think that's it. He would sell out anybody and their mother. I think it's something worse than that. Something he did to SHANNAN or the girls or to their bodies. Something that's so horrible, he won't confess it. Now let's just let our minds follow that through to its logical conclusion.
Right, right. And I have wondered if the girls were alive when they hit that water. That has been, because he was a time crunch getting out of there. He had to appear like everything was okay at work at 8 o'clock. And so it took time to smother those girls. It took time to walk them up those battery steps. If you've seen a picture of them, they're huge. They're huge. They're tall, up in the air. So were they alive?
So he had sex with SHANNAN right before he killed her.
Don't believe that.
I wonder if kits were done on Bella and Celeste. I wonder if he, let me just say euphemistically, tampered with SHANNAN's body post-mortem. Whatever it is has got to be something that's so horrible he can't bring himself to state it. And I don't know what could be more horrible than what we already know he did, what he's confessed to.
Right.
Question.
But again, the autopsy stated that nothing was done to that area. So I'm not gonna keep going on to that part there.
How is he twisting this around and making this all Shannan's fault?
SHANNAN was an accomplished woman.
Because he doesn't want to be portrayed in the one bad moment in his life. He wants people to look at him for what he's done right.
In her own rights. She sold a company, Thrive, that she worked for, and she was very successful. They gave,
And apparently that's enough for people to say that she was killed because of that reason. One of the reasons.
her a car allowance for a new Lexus. When she would go to the
No
large
payment.
campaigns that they have every year, she won awards. She had something like 400,000 people under her. She was a very accomplished woman, and she liked to spend money. She liked to impress. They lived in a huge home. She made him look very little in his eyes. He felt like she made him look little. He told me that she would.
Okay, wait, what? How does her working her finger to the bone and creating this beautiful home that she artfully designed? I've looked at every room that she designed, she painted, she furnished. Now, how does she makes the money, she brings home the money, she takes care of the children, she designs the home, she cleans the home. Wait, how does she make him look small?
Right?
I thought you could only do that all on your own.
She's taking care of business while he just goes to work. Like, what are you complaining about, dude?
That's only in his eyes, not in. I don't believe SHANNAN felt that way about him. I know for a fact his in-laws did not feel that way about him, but he had to have some way to blame all this. See, they went on trips. It shows right here. You're looking at them at a
Yeah, look at all the free trips that they got to go on.
beach. That trip was furnished by her company that she worked for.
But no, she was a monster. She deserved everything that came to her. Like, are you sick in the head?
She earned those things, and he had a job, a decent job, but he only made $60,000 a year. She made twice what he made, and he felt belittled. He said by her, she was very.
I make more than my spouse does. Does it mean that she's gonna murder me? Probably not.
But he didn't mind spending her money, did he?
No,
Somebody
he
had
did
to
not.
pay for all those motels he shacked up in.
Yeah, that's all the dinners he took his girlfriend to, and the gifts that he bought her. That's right. Yes, and so SHANNAN was, like you said, working her fingers to the bone. The girl worked day and night to do what she accomplished, and yet he would say that she was just on to him all the time.
Oh, because she sent her kids to an expensive school. Private schools are not cheap. But yet, senators, governors, and all that stuff send their kids to private school. Do you think anything about that?
And, just whatever he could use to blame her for everything.
Yeah, because she probably knew he was cheating, or at least suspected. Look, you can't have a house that beautiful that you design and you keep neat as a pin and not look at your husband's credit cards when he does supper. Right. Isn't that why we all have Live 360?
I know.
Yes, right. Yeah, no. She was blindsided in the beginning, I believe. She trusted him because she was so busy. I don't think she had time to follow him around and see what he was doing.
Her mind said, don't trust Chris. Her heart continued to trust Chris. That's what killed her. Is she believed her heart more than her mind. I do believe.
And so in the beginning, I think she was very trusting. And then all of a sudden, when he changed who he was to her. Yes.
I want to throw something at you. I mean, I know you're not a shrink, but I'm just thinking about her, and I admire her. Well, she's beautiful, and she always is so put together. And
she inspired me to do better things, be more organized, to be a better person, to strive for my channel, to make it quality over crap kind of stuff. So her videos still inspire me. And it's not just her. I mean, I've looked at other people like that I look up to. Robin Williams, Jim Carrey. I said this on my live today. And Robert Downey Jr., my father. People that inspire me. And she's the woman that actually inspired me.
she's trying so hard to get that Hallmark family and home and keep it perfect and beautiful. And she has to wonder, what's wrong with me? Why is he not coming home at night? Why is he at the Dewdrop Inn motel? I mean, she had to be suspicious, and that probably manifested by her being, quote, on him. Like, what are you doing? Where have you been? And I'm sure he resented that. But this beautiful woman on the end, not her, I'm talking about SHANNAN. That's one of his many girlfriends. Her, SHANNAN. Yeah. She was always feeling like she was overweight, like she wasn't pretty enough, like she wasn't exciting and funny and witty and blah, 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 fill in the blank because of him.
Right. He didn't do anything to feed her ego, but he wanted his fed well.
Exactly.
And he went to the gym.
I've been saying that exact thing. He wanted her just to feed that ego. Yeah, but he wasn't willing to do it to her.
And he lost weight and he buffed up, and she had to have known something's going on here because she was a smart girl. She was she wasn't stupid by any means.
Lazy dog.
And so, I mean, we all have things about us that we wish we looked different or we were weighed less.
What is wrong with men? I don't get it. I do not get it. Of course, I guess you could say the same thing about some women, but they've got it all. If you can't be happy with her and the beautiful girls and the baby boy and the picture perfect home and the perfect neighborhood, what does it take? I don't know. I don't know. What does it take? That's everybody's dream. But listen to this. I'm quoting from Cherlyn Cadle's book. Now, she's got 2 of them. I know if Nikki and I were going to be together, I had to kill all of them. That's a quote from The Murders of Christopher Watts.
One of those.
It was all to be with another woman? Hadn't he ever heard of divorce?
Yes. Think of that. And the other woman, I don't know anything about her, but SHANNAN was, in my opinion, far more what he should want. I mean, he built a life with her.
Why do people always cheat down? You ever heard that?
Exactly.
They always cheat down.
If you've ever watched Steve Wilkos, Maury Povich, Jerry Springer, they always cheat at a downgrade. It's always a downgrade. Always a downgrade. Maybe there's that little sliver of an upgrade, but it's very rare.
Cheat down, that's a good one. Yes, definitely. I mean, look at SHANNAN. She's beautiful. She's laughing. She's got a wonderful personality.
She cooks Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas, wants to do things out and about, wants to be ambitious. Like, what is that wrong with that?
She treated people so well. People loved her. She had a huge group of friends. I don't understand at all. I don't understand why he would not be happy with what he had.
He tries to blame it on anger, that I was so angry I would have killed anything. Like anger is some type of a beast that did the deed. It was him that did the deed. Did he ever shed a tear?
Never. Never did he shed a tear. And here's another thing. And I asked him about this point blank because I said, it seems like that this monster in you, that whatever it was that you were having to go to the bathroom and pray for forgiveness, and this didn't happen just once. This is something that happened on a kind of a regular basis, that his mother could hear him as a child. I said, it seemed to me like there was a monster inside of you, and it was boiling and boiling, and it had to come out. And that's why you killed SHANNAN. It's because that monster just had to come out. I don't know what you think of that, but it's like something in there, and it wasn't caused by SHANNAN, that monster inside of him.
You know, you mentioned that when he left the disposal scene, which is a really euphemistic way to put what he did to Bella and Celeste, SHANNAN and Nico, that he was playing Metallica. What he was playing was a Metallica song, Battery. And some of the lyrics are, pounding out aggression turns into obsession, cannot kill the battery, cannot kill the family. He knew exactly what he was doing. Yes. And the motive was to be with another woman who would probably start cheating on the moment he could.
Yes. Yeah.
What is your takeaway of Chris Watts?
He would have had a mistress on the mistress.
And the books are amazing. The Murders of Christopher Watts and The Many Faces of Christopher Watts, a 5-year update. What's your takeaway that you can give us?
All of these women that are writing to him and sending him love letters and sending him money through the mail that has overloaded his commissary. My takeaway is that there's something in him that he thinks he can just woo any woman. And woman beware, because let me tell you, anyone that has that personality,
You can't
I
fix
would
him.
definitely be very careful of. I don't think that there is a man or a woman alive that is willing to kiss your feet that much, to woo you that much, and not just be themselves. But these women, they want to marry him. They want to support him. They want to visit with him. They want to talk to him on the phone. Oh my gosh. My takeaway is just beware. Women, beware.
You know, you mentioned that he was good looking. I've never once found him good looking, even before I knew for sure he murdered SHANNAN, because he doesn't have a kind face. You know, no, why am I?
Got a face that looks like he's been smacked in the face by a stop sign.
Seeing him without a shirt on? Why are you doing that to me? I don't want to see his body. He's yuck. You know what? Control room showing me that. You might as well show me a picture of a coral snake or anaconda or a poisonous spider. That's how I view him. I've never once seen a kind look in his.
Like looking in his eyes, it's soulless. There is no soul in Chris. And if there was, sold it to the devil. Because yeah, those eyes, there's nothing in them.
Eyes. I mean, he may smile, but there's something cold in his eyes. You know, when my husband smiles, his eyes smile too.
Yes.
You know, it's just like my dad and my mom. Their eyes smile. His eyes always look cold to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's so many women think that he's good looking, to the point that all these women that have written him.
I don't care about this.
Press. If you like. 888-0344 or go online to
called The Deceiver.
Yes.
The Deceiver. That's what he is. You know what? Just to irritate Chris Watts, I'm going to close our time together for now anyway, and I hope we meet again. Your books are amazing, and you work so hard and so meticulously to do this. And thank heaven you didn't fall for that POC, Chris Watts. The Murders of Christopher Watts and The Many Faces of Christopher Watts, a 5-year up.
I'm going to leave it there because it's pretty much just publicizing the book, and you know about the books for Miss Cherlyn Cadle. But definitely interesting about the Chris Watts back in the day. Mom saying something about I'm sorry, I didn't know what I was doing kind of thing in the bathroom. If it wasn't for Chris going to North Carolina, this would have been different. Him going to different hotels, I don't know about that. Well, it is true because we looked at that text message with that one before that Nichol says that I don't know if you can swing it this month, but I got some extra points to go to a hotel. I don't know if you're game. They ended up going camping. Never been camping before. Like, what did they do with Chris Watts back when he was younger? Like, never been camping? Yeah. So with all that being said, comment your guys' thoughts down below. Don't forget to go over to Miss Nancy Grace. Give her the love and support that you guys could show me. Again, I know there's going to be comments that go, I don't like Nancy Grace. There's people that didn't like Jesus Christ. And they crucified him. So for us, YouTubers and subscriber or content creators, I don't care if you don't like me or not. There are people that do, and I'm glad that they're here. So with that being said, comments down below, share with your friends, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. We will see you guys in the next one. Please take care, be safe. As always, keep nerding on, and we will see you guys in the next video.